Hello. In today's session, we are continue the previous video on averages. So let us brief the things what we discussed in the previous session. In the previous session, we had a basic introduction about the concept of circle method, and we had some examples. We have discussed some examples to understand the concept. After that, we are in the process of today to discuss the problems. So what is the concept we discussed yesterday means? So we basically started a circle method. So in the circle method, what are the kinds of problems we'll discuss means leaving, joining, replacement type of problems, and as well as a bowling average, batting average type of problems will be discussed in the. So these are the different kinds of models which will cover under circle method. So for that we are having two examples. So this example we discussed with the general method approach and the direct method approach. And after that, after discussing this general method approach and direct method approach, why we are preferring this the circle method means we discussed that one in the previous session. So we for that we had two examples based on the circle method here. And after the completion of this we are starting this problem. So I already gave you that to try to solve this problem, and if anybody solve this question it is well appreciated, and if anyone not solve that one we will try to explain in this session here. So what is the question here means the average weight of 25 students in a class is 50. So what he gave in the question is there are 25 students, and for those 25 students the average he gave it as a 50. Next, what he gave if the weight of a class teacher is included, which means one person is added in the list, and after that what happened the average is also increased by 1 kg. So the average is also increased by 1 kg. So as I said in the previous session that this value will take it as a number of observations here, and this value I'll take it as average here. So we are taking number of observations and average ratio here. So there are initially there are so after initially there are 25 persons present, and for those 25 persons average you give it as 50, and then later one person is included, and one person is included the average is also increased by 1 year. Next, what happened it will become what 26 and 51. So now we are trying to apply this circle method here in order to avoid the calculations or in order to get the answer in a simple manner here. So what I need to do this 1 into 51 plus 1 into 25, that will be equals to the weight of a teacher. So what he asked in the question? So the weight of teacher that he asked in the question. So 1 into 51 plus 25 into 1, that will be equals to what? 76 kgs. So the weight of a teacher that was included in the class was 76. So this is by using the circle method. Suppose if you practice more number of questions, you will be able to solve this question by direct method approach also. So in direct method approach, what you'll get? So as I said in the previous session, that the weight of a teacher that will be equals to some new minus some old. So what is the sum new here? 26 into 51 minus 25 into 50, that will be equals to, and here we need to simplify the equation here, or we need to multiply these values. After multiplying these values, we are getting this answer as 76. But multiplying these values is somehow takes some time to multiply the values. So that's why we are trying to solve question, we are trying to get the answer by using this circle method here. So in circle method, we are trying to minimize the calculations, or we are trying to avoid a majority of the calculation by simplifying the equation here. So the answer for this particular question was 76 kgs. So the weight of teacher was 76 kgs. I hope you are clear with this explanation. And we are moving to the next problem here. And here is the next problem. So this is also very similar to the previous question. So let us read what is given in the question here. So what is given in the question? The weight of a average weight of a 12 parcels. So there are 12 parcels, and for those 12 parcels, the average weight is given as 1.8 kg. So this 1.8 kg I am converting into 1800 grams here. Why? Because here the average weight is increased by 50 grams here. Next, and addition of another new parcel. So there is one parcel is added. After addition of this one parcel, what happened? The average weight is reduced by 50 grams. So the average weight is reduced by 50 grams here. Next, what is asked in the question? What is the weight of a new parcel? So this is not 12. So this will be 13 here, and after that it will be 13 715 1750. After 1800 and minus 50, that will be equals to 1750. Now what we need to do is 1 into 1750 minus 1 in minus 50 into 12. So if I multiply these values here, so I'll get the answer as the weight of a new parcel. So 1 into 1750 minus 50 into 12, that will be equals to 1750 minus 600, and that will be equals to 1050. So the weight of a new parcel was 1.05 kgs. 1.05 kgs. So which is presented in, okay, let me read. So okay, this will be like 1.1150. This will become 1150. So I'll get the answer as 1.150. So I'll get the answer as 1.15 kgs. So which is presented in option C. So the weight of a new parcel is of 1.15 kg, which is presented in option C. Otherwise, you can also solve this one by using the direct approach also. So what is a direct approach? Means the weight of a new parcel, that will be equals to sum new minus sum old. So what is sum new? There are 13 parcels, and those 13 parcels, the average weight he gave as 1750 minus 12 into 1800. If we simplify this equation, we will get the answer as 1150 grams. But we need to get the answer 10 kg. So I am dividing that one with 1000. If I divide that one with 1000, I will get the answer as 1.15 kgs. So the weight of a new parcel is of 1.15 kgs. I hope you are clear with this explanation. And we are moving to the next question. Before moving to the next question, try to follow us on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter platforms. And if you have any doubts, or can also follow us on support numbers provided here. And if you still have any doubts, can call us our support number. Our representative will clear your doubts and will give you the offers. What are the different kinds of offers with MSMF he will give to the students? So that will be explained by our executive here. And let us move to the next question here. Okay, this was the next question. What I gave in the question is the bowling average of a cricketer was 12.4. He improved his bowling average by 0.2 points when he took 5 wickets for 26 runs in the last match. So the number of wickets taken by him before the last match. So while reading this question, as I said in the introduction, that so in this circle method, what are the different kinds of problems we'll discuss? Means leaving, joining, replacement, as well as bowling average, batting average type of problems we'll discuss it in. So that will all cover under the circle method. So well, when in the question, if bowling average or batting average in the question, we need to be careful about while taking the new average of a person. So what he gave in the question, the bowling average of a cricketer was 12.4. For the bowling average of a 12.4, he improved his bowling average by 0.2 points when he took 5 wickets for 26 runs in the last match. The number of wickets taken by him before the last match was. So now we are taking the number of observations as a number of wickets and the average as 12.4. So here we need to remember one point here. When a bowler is improving his bowling average means, when a bowler is improving his bowling average means he is actually reducing the average than the previous one. Is actually reducing the average than the previous one. So you need to be careful about this point here. To remember this point, you will be able to get the answer correctly. Otherwise, you will get some different answer here. So try to remember this point here. When a bowler is improving his bowling average means he is actually reducing the average than the previous one. So try to remember this point here. Next, what he gave in the question, we don't know how many wickets he has taken before the last match. So for those, the number of wickets, for n wickets, he has his bowling average was at 12.4. And after that, he took 5 wickets in the last match. So he took 5 wickets in the last match, and after that this bowling average is improved by 0.2 point. So here the bowling average is improving means he is actually reducing the average. So don't confuse with the terminology regarding this bowling average point of view. So what happened for this n plus 5 wickets, this bowling average now was 12.2. So if I apply the circle method here, 5 into 12.2 minus 0.2 into n, and you need to be careful. Here I gave 1 point here. That will be equals how many runs he has given in the last match. So that will be equals to 5 into 12.2 minus 0.2 into n. That will be equals to number of runs given in the last match. That will be, we need to equate it to 26 here. So if I multiply this 5 into 12.2, I'll get the answer as 61 minus 0.2 n. That will be equals to 26. And if I simplify this equation, that will be equals to 0.2 n. That will be equals to 35. And the number of wickets taken in the last match or before the last match was 175 wickets. So the number of wickets taken by him before the last match was 175 wickets. So this is, if we go with the circle method, we will get the answer directly here. Suppose some may have not remembered this point here. So how to solve this one by using the direct method, sir? So for direct method, we are having formula number of runs or number of wickets, number, not number of runs here. Okay, number of runs is will be equals to some new minus some old. So number of runs given in the last match are at 26. That will be equals to n plus 5 into 12.2 minus n into 12.4. If we simplify this equation, at the end we'll get the answer as n is equals to 175. So, but multiplying these values is somehow a typical task for us. So that's why we are trying. We are not trying to solve like this one. So I suggest you to solve your problems by this circle method only. I hope you are clear with this explanation. In order to understand further, we are moving further by explaining a similar kind of example problem here. Here is an extra example problem. So what I gave in the question is that the batting average. So in the previous question, what I gave in the previous question, we gave it as a bowling average. Now the batting average. With the batting average, we don't have any problem here. With the bowling average only, if bowling average is improving only, we need to be careful. We need to take not plus 2 here, we need to take minus 2 here in the previous problem. So what I gave in the question, the batting average of 40 innings. So there are 40 innings. For those 40 innings, a cricket player is 50 runs. So the batting average, there are 40 innings. For those 40 innings, the cricketer average was 50 runs. Next, what I gave one point here. His highest score exceeds his lowest score. So yeah, among those 40 innings, he has one highest score and he has one lowest score. So this highest score and lowest score matches runs he gave it as 172 runs. The highest match and lowest match runs he gave it as 172 runs. Next, but he gave, if these two innings, this highest match and lowest matches are excluded, how many matches are left here? There will be 38 innings will be left. So this, if we exclude this highest match and lowest match excluded, after excluding these two matches, the average is also decreased by 2 years. You can see here. For the remaining 38 innings, the average he gave it as 48 runs. So the remaining 38 he gave it as 48 runs. Now we are applying to circle method here in order to find what is the sum of this H and L score here. So minus 2 into 48 minus 2 into 40, that will be equals to H plus L. That will be equals to H plus L. Whatever the matches that are excluded, that will be the weight of that will be the runs of those two matches here. So minus 2 into 48 minus 2 into 40, that will be equals to H plus L. So as I said in the previous session that why we are getting a negative symbol here means when a weight of a person is excluded or removed from the list, we definitely get the answer in a negative manner. That point we already covered in the previous session. If anyone had missed that previous session, try to watch that video and you will get a better clarity why the negative symbol came here and why we are trying to approach this method only irrespective of the general method and direct method approaches here. Next, what he asked in the question, what is the highest score of the player? We need to find the highest score of the player. So we had the difference of highest minus lowest and highest plus lowest. If we solve this equation and this equation, I definitely get the, so if I try to simplify this equation, so I'll get the highest score match was 174 runs. Then, sir, what is the lowest score match runs? So the lowest score match runs are just only 2 runs. So what is the answer for this particular problem will be the highest runs was 174 runs, which is presented in option D. I hope you are clear with this explanation. And if you are having any doubts on this problem, you can message to our support number or can contact us on this support numbers below. And if you are having any doubts, you can also comment in the comment section here. Okay. Having understanding this problem, we are moving to the next question here. And here is the next question. So what is given is the next question here is a cricketer batsman had a certain average of runs for his 11 innings. So a cricketer was present, a cricket batsman was present, and he had certain average for 11 innings. So for 11 innings, he had some X average. Next, so let us assume for 11 innings, the batsman has an average of X runs. Next, the 12th innings, so the one innings was increased. It's a score, he made 19 scores. So in the 12th innings, he made 90 scores. So thereby this average was decreased by 5 runs here. So the average was decreased by 5 here. So this 12 innings, so the average was now X minus 5. Now what you need to find, what is this average after the 12th innings? So we need to find the average after the 12th inning. So 1 into X minus 5 minus 5 into 11, that will be equals to the 12th innings runs. Okay, how many runs he had made in the 12th innings? So he made 90 runs in the 12th innings. So 1 into x minus 5 minus 5 into 11, that will be equals to 90. And if we simplify this equation, x value will get it as 150. So his average of runs after the 12th innings was 150, which is presented in option B. I hope you are clear with this explanation. This is about today's session, and we'll continue the next session with one more interesting topic on averages. Have a good day. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you for watching this video.